Hi, Mark Reedy here. Just wanted to go over what we've done lately in this new version released last week, 4.6.24Q, released August 25th, 2018. First of all, we've added a button to open the preferences from the work order screen. Okay, so in the work order screen, we go to the main screen, the description tab there, and you'll notice here that we've got a preferences button added here. So now you can click on this button here to change your preferences, especially like work order preferences here. You can choose the printout format you want. You can have it always print as an invoice if you want to. You can stop asking to ask if you want it printed as an invoice. You can add things like or uncheck or check the hide the warranty, hide recall, whatever. All of these things can be set from here, and then you can close that out and get right back to your work order without having to close the work order and then go up to here to Tools and Preferences to open that. So that makes that a little bit faster. And then we've also added the My Company Information button from here. We click on that, and so if you needed to update your company name, address, phone numbers, or anything like that that print out on the invoice, that could also be your company logo. And the sales tax, if you're going to charge sales tax on labor, if you're going to charge sales tax on miscellaneous items as the default, and what your default sales tax rate is, you can set that here, and then you can close that. Normally you would have to go up here to File and then My Company Information from the File menu. And we've also added you can still get to that company information also by double clicking on the taxes percentage here. Sales tax percentage is right here, so if you wanted to put a sales tax percentage in there, you can put that in there, and that'll propagate over to the work order that you're working on, and then any future work orders as well. So close that. And then we've also added the ability to open the drop-down list maintenance from the Service By Dropdown here. So if I double click this, the drop-down list maintenance screen for Service By, so you can go in here and edit these items or deactivate them if you want to from this screen. And for example, this here, this Tony's S paint body, I don't know why that's like that, but probably should just be like that, or Tanya paint and body. Close that. And then that would update the list there. You can see that. And then also for the short descriptions, we did the same thing. If you double click to that, you can actually look at the existing short descriptions you have in your system, and you can mark them as inactive or edit the ones that you need to edit, and go through your list right from here without having to close the work order and go up here to Forms drop-down list maintenance to go work on that. Also, we've gone over to the labor completed area, and if I just double click to open a labor item that's already done here, you can now double click to open up the personnel, and then you can add or edit the personnel, mark somebody as inactive, mark them as a fleet technician if they weren't already a fleet technician. They don't show up in the labor items if they're not marked as a fleet technician, so you want to make sure they're marked as a fleet technician, and then they'll show up in the drop down for your employees here underneath labor for work orders. And then on the description, we've added the drop down list maintenance for that, so double click that, and then you can update or edit your labor descriptions or add to the labor descriptions from here. You can also add to the labor descriptions on the fly. You can also add employees on the fly as well from here, but if you already know they're in the system, then you can double click to open them up, and then you mark them as active if they were marked as inactive, or if you wanted to remove them from your drop down list, you could do it right from there. Okay, so those are those items, and then we're going to go over to the parts and materials used. Double click to open that up, and you can see here that we have expanded the view area of the part stock number. So now it's going to show you more information. It accepts up to 50 characters, and so now pretty much all the 50 characters will fit in there. And so if you've got a really long part or stock number, it won't be hidden. You won't have to click on it and scroll over to see more information, or click on this to see more information. We've also added the double click to open the parts vendor drop-down list maintenance, and double click to open the manufacturer parts manufacturer drop-down list maintenance. And the parts manufacturer drop-down list maintenance did not exist prior to this version, so that has been added there, and up to the forms drop-down list maintenance screen menu item, so you can open up the parts manufacturer now and edit and or add to that from this screen, or mark them as inactive. Back over to the labor real quick. We've actually changed this label up here. It just used to say units. Now it says units/hours. Make it a little bit more intuitive to what you're putting in there, and so forth. Let me go back over to parts and materials used, because I'm going to just go from here. If I double click on the part or stock number, this does open up the parts inventory. This already existed prior to this version, but we've made some updates to the parts inventory screen. You can see here that we've expanded all of these fields up at the top so they're larger. So now you don't have to scroll through the field to find some hidden numbers or letters that you might be looking for on items that are really long. Same thing with the manufacturer part number, part description, bin location. The bin number, or the bin itself, has actually been expanded. All these fields have been expanded. And we've added the drop-down list maintenance or screen to this drop-down here. So now you can edit that from there. You can add to it on the fly, but you can also go in here and mark items as inactive or edit items. And we've also added the same thing for type. So that's a drop-down list maintenance for type, for manufacturer, and for the parts vendor. So all those items are there. And then over here on the percent increase, where you have the default price increase or selling price based upon the cost, and then whatever price increase you might have set up for your company if you are selling at an increase, you could now double click to open up my company information from here, and then you can set your inventory markup schema however you want to have it set up, manually or fixed or percentage. Put your percentage in there, and then that'll populate over to that parts inventory item, and then any future parts inventory items you add moving forward. We did one thing on here is we updated this field here, so now it doesn't have a mask. So now you just use dashes or slashes. Now control and then semicolon, and that brings that just enters today's date in there. Control semicolon, or you can do 08-30-2018 like that. All right, and then update, and then close. All right, so let me see what else, if I missed anything here. Oh yeah, the billing terms. Let's go back to that. Where are we at here? There we go. Okay, so let's just go back to the main screen, and if we go over here to preferences, you'll see here we've under billing terms. Now some people have billing terms. We've got a sample billing terms that'll be in your TATEMS 2005 folder inside program files or program files 86 if you want to see a sample. But if you've got something in here and you want it to show up only when printed as an invoice, you would check this box here. This is a new checkbox. So that way it's not going to show up on work orders or pending work orders. If you uncheck that, it's going to show up everywhere. All right, pending work orders, and our completed work orders, and on invoices. Alrighty, and so that's that. Let me go back in here. And in case you didn't know, we do have multiple different formats of printouts for your invoices or your work orders. And so you can play around with those and see if any of those might be useful for you. One of them here is this labor and parts, 2 lines when it's blank. So if you haven't added any labor or parts into it yet, you can print it out, and then that gives you 2 pages. I'll just show you here like that. Oh, this one already has some stuff in it. Let's go back and add a new one. And so we'll just say, just put some information in there. I'm going to click on print. And so now you can see you've got all these labor tasks. You got a full line page there. And then you have parts, you have a full line page there of parts that you can add. And so that gives you more room for handwriting before you actually do the data entry. So that is that particular. And now I can go back and change that back over to the default right from here, and then close that out. And let's see if there's anything else I missed. I think that's it. In addition to these items here, we've added or updated quite a few things regarding data entry to smooth out the process, to eliminate some error messages and so forth. And hopefully that's going to make things easier and faster for you. All right, thanks a lot for watching. Have a good one. Take care.